Happy Saturday, everybody. It is Kentucky Derby Day, and we are going to make ourselves a fantastic appetizer on the smoker day. We're going to go with a smoked old-fashioned cream cheese dip. Let's get started. I have to tell you guys, I'm pretty excited about today's appetizer because I love doing things with smoked cream cheese. This will just be another variation of that for us to try out today. So start with using that block of cream cheese. You could obviously double, triple this, whatever you need to do, depending on how many people you're making this appetizer for. We're gonna take the block of cream cheese and put it right here in my cast iron. You could just use an aluminum pan, whatever you want to make it simple for yourself at home on that smoker. All right, we're gonna take that block of cream cheese. I'm just gonna go ahead and place it right there in the middle of our pan. And then I always like to take a knife and score that cream cheese diagonally in one direction and then diagonally back the other direction, going about a 1/4 inch deep into that cream cheese. That's going to allow that cream cheese to kind of open up just a little bit when it's on that smoker, and then also allow some of those ingredients that I'm going to put on top here make things fall down inside of there as well, and just easier to dip so that heat gets inside of it on that smoker, because we're not going at a real high temperature today. So next thing we're going to do, got them there, we're going to add a little bit of, I'm going to go with some meat church here, some all-purpose, the Holy Gospel. You can use any of your favorite seasoning as well. You gotta love it when you crack open a new thing of seasoning as well, don't you? All right, so take some of that seasoning. Now if you're making smoked cream cheese at home, a lot of times you might just stop right here and cover it with that seasoning and not do anything else. But we're gonna stop, turn that pan so I can get a little bit of seasoning around the outer edge of that cream cheese as well. All right, so we got that Gospel on there. You could go with a hotter season if you want to, if you're a little more spice behind it. We're gonna try it this way today. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add just a little bit of those bitters that we'd use in that smoked old fashioned. So about a teaspoon of those. So we'll go ahead and make it easy for myself. I don't even need that teaspoon. Put that right down the center here. It'll start to fall along the side and into those grooves we cut. If you don't cut those grooves, everything may just roll off the side of that cream cheese as well. So this helps get some of those ingredients deep down inside. All right, and then last but not least, grab yourself some good old bourbon. I've got myself actually some bullet bourbon here, good old Kentucky whiskey. I'm gonna go with about 2 to 3 ounces of that. And then we will pour that right over, nice and slow as well. I want it to go down in there in those grooves that I set for myself. All right, I'm gonna come back, because some of that seasoning came off, I'm gonna top it back off with just a little more of that seasoning across the top. There we go. So that bourbon is now sitting in the bottom, from the bottom up. Those grooves, it went down in those grooves as well. I've got my smoker today. I'm going with the Little Smoky Mountain today. So we're gonna go at about 250 degrees. We're gonna place this on there for about 2 hours, and then we'll take it off, and we're gonna top it off with some ingredients. Let's get it on the smoker. All right, friends, so we took the cream cheese off the smoker. Because I put those slits in there, I know originally I said it takes about 2 hours. It doesn't take as long as I thought because I made those slits. I should remember that. It usually takes about an hour for cream cheese. So I apologize for giving you a wrong time to begin with there. But there's a look at that cream cheese. That bourbon is kind of glazed on there as well. So it's opened up. What I want to do here now is, now you could do this and just put what I'm about to do and just go ahead and serve it. I want to actually let that jelly warm up on top of that cream cheese on the smoker. So I've got myself some hot pepper jelly. We're going to place some of that right on top of that cream cheese. And because it's cracked open there, I'm going to let it just kind of sit right in those grooves. And then what we're going to do is we're going to throw it back on the smoker for only about 10 minutes. I just want it to get nice and warm inside of there so that maybe it starts to melt inside of those grooves as well. There is that jelly on top of that cream cheese. Let's get it back on the smoker. Cream cheese is off the smoker. I let it sit for a moment. pulled it off, put it on this cutting board to serve with. To be honest, I probably should have just left it in here, or it's use a smaller cast iron and just serve it right out of that. Got a little sloppy, but that's okay. We're just going to eat it anyway. That, my friends, is that smoked old-fashioned cream cheese with that jelly on there. We're going to grab ourselves a little flatbread chip here and give it a taste test, all right? Definitely want to make sure I get some of that jelly. Get a little of that cream cheese crust off to the side. Oh yeah, here we go. You get the smokiness and a slight hint of that bourbon right out the gate, right on the front of that tongue. And then as it's traveling through the mouth and you're chewing and eating, then you get that jelly on the back end, and that cream cheese texture just kind of flows throughout. This, my friends, is really amazing. It's not too hot and spicy. As I'm sitting here tasting it right now, I'm thinking, you know what? Not only would I do this with hot jelly again, I might actually do it with a bacon jam or like a bourbon bacon jam. That would be really good as well. You guys have to try this. Just another great variation of smoked cream cheese at home. Easy to make, inexpensive, especially if you got that bourbon laying around the house and like, you know what? 2 ounces of that bourbon is not going to kill me. Let's make some of that cream cheese. If you like what we're doing, make sure to check us out on all of our other recipes. Subscribe to our channel. We'll throw some information about this recipe in the description as well. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys again on Bones and Brews.